Jesse Fillington, welcome to our video coverage from EA Live, and you'll know this guy standing next to me. Jules, great to see you here.
And you, Phil?
You're actually here with your Habitek hat on.
Yep.
So if you're not aware, Jules has gone from being a professional calibrator to working for one of the UK's biggest distributors in the CI marketplace. So new job for you, and one of the brands that you're representing nowadays is JVC.
Yeah.
So quite a lineup this year.
It is really excited actually, because quality speaks for itself, and what I've seen of these new models, it really is. They've hit it out of the park with these ones this year. Fantastic.
So there's 4 models that we're going to talk about here on the stand. We're also going to hear from Tim from JVC as well. We're going to deep dive into some of the models in separate videos. So there'll be about 3 or 4 videos for you to watch on the JVC projectors. So have a look for them on the YouTube page. But Jules, let's go through the range. So. Yep. Some exciting stuff from JVC. Now, we've both used JVC projectors for a number of years now. I've certainly had them for my reference points on my systems over the year, and definitely reviewed them over the years as well. So they do a thing which I think is great for a brand, which is that they don't release a new model every year. The product cycle has developed over a number of years, and what they do, which I think is great for end users, I know you guys appreciate when you spend the big bucks on these things, is that actually they update the model, and if there's a new technology, they don't launch a new model, they actually update the models that exist.
Yeah, we've had subsequent firmware updates since the models were originally released, and nobody wants when you've bought a product, you don't want a new one coming out really shortly afterwards, so you feel kind of devalued in this case, and JVC have always been supporting their product with functional firmware updates that actually do make a difference. It's not tiny little things, it's really important things that they've been upgrading. So I think, before I worked for Habitek, I would always say that, I love JVC as a calibrator, I love JVC, I love the native contrast, etc. But that ability to, you've bought a product, you know that at least for 2-3 years, it's not going to be replaced, and they're going to support it with really good, worthwhile firmware updates. It's always been a plus point for the JVCs.
Yeah. So this new range, really interesting. One of the big differences is the new chassis design for the 500 and 700, which until you see it in person, you think, well, what difference does that make? Actually, quite a big difference.
It is. It's 35% smaller. And yet at the same time, the lens is larger. It's an 80mm lens, whereas the NZ800 or NZ8 has a 65mm lens. So you've got a larger lens there. It's also lighter. I've done my back in so many times carrying JVC projectors, it's ridiculous. But these ones are 14 kilos as opposed to the, I think, 24 kilos around of the NZ900. So big difference in weight there. And yet it stands up, the picture, and you've been seeing it, Phil, the NZ700 we've been watching against the NZ900, the picture stands up extremely well.
Yeah, no, that was one thing I really did notice, 700 against the 900. The 900, if you've never seen a 900, you probably can't afford it. Most of us can. I mean, I'd struggle to get into the entry level, to be honest. But if you ever get a chance to see the 900, go see it, because it's something truly special in terms of front projection. But it is 26 grand, so you are paying for that quality. 700, not so expensive yet. I thought it got very, very close.
It did. It was. I was surprisingly close. And the one we've seen, I'd calibrated the NZ900. Yeah. The NZ700 was straight out of the box with filmmaker mode, and it was very good. So I was impressed myself. And of course, it has 80,000 to 1 contrast, that 700, which is equivalent to the old NZ8. That's what that had, and that's the one I presently have in my demo room. So it's got terrific native contrast.
So let's talk about the big boys, the 800 and the 900. Really impressive, Jules, aren't they? And I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying this, the glass makes a big difference in terms of projection, and it certainly does with these, because the image is pin sharp. You could just fall into some of the demo clips here, and I'm not over-egging this. I genuinely do get excited sometimes when I see technology like this in images. So explain to the viewers what we watched in there and what we've actually experienced.
Well, you talk about the glass making a difference. It really does. If you've got a 4K panel, that's great. But if your lens isn't allowing you to resolve the detail on the screen because it's softened somehow, then you're not really seeing the full resolution of the content. So that accounts for a lot of the difference in the weight. So the NZ800 and the NZ900 have all glass lenses, and they're in the region of between 22 and 25 kilos. And the new ones are in the region of 14 kilos as well. So a lot of things have been cut down, the chassis is changed, etc. But a lot of the difference is the size of the optics. The new ones have got for the first time, have got a resin element to them, and that's obviously to make things a bit cheaper, makes it a little bit lighter. But actually, I've tested the NZ700 lens against my NZ8, and it's just as good. So they've done a really good job of that. But we've been watching, what did we start off with? A bit of Spider-Man, Far From Home, which is a great demo clip, especially if we don't have Atmos in there at the minute, but the Atmos is great on that track. And then we went to Elvis, and then we watched some Passengers. And all of those, there's a mixture of scenes and all of that kind of content. So you've got your really deep, dark, black, just space scenes in Passengers, and you've got some bright animated colors in Spider-Man. And so it really, you're getting a mix of content. There's some outdoor scenes with natural skin tones as well. So I think that's really good demo material to be able to test the projectors against. And they were, I loved it. It was fantastic.
So if you want to find out a little bit more about the projectors, we've got a video on the 500, the 700 and the full range with Tim from JVC. So go and find those videos under our coverage or on the YouTube homepage. You'll find them nice and easy. But Jules, good to see you here.
Yeah, and you, Phil.
I didn't realise he was this tall. You know, when you see him on the screen, then I'm kidding. I am jesting. We've met before, but you know, it's been good to see you. I see you settling into the new job at Havitech. Really well.
I'm loving it. It's great. You know, and I'm not giving up calibration. I'm still calibrating, but this is for Havitech clients. So you know, some of those cinemas that are going in, obviously they all need calibrating.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thanks to Jules, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.